Hello, my friends. How are you today? I hope you're all really well and happy. And I am just following up with another brief talk on, what I've done for work to heal myself and what I feel really works well with other people and clients that I've worked with in the past. And just, discussing all of that. So basically I asked the question recently to you guys, what is the common denominator, or what is the thing that plant medicine, hypnotherapy, somatic therapy, like in breathwork, what do they all have in common? And what they have in common is what I'm passionate about, which I call now my soul coaching, soul counselling practice, is that you are connecting with not just the physical body and the emotional body, but you're connecting with the soul or energetic body, which, I think more and more, which is really exciting to me, people are becoming aware that they do have more to them than their mind and their body, because we are truly more than our mind and our body. And I remember seeing a neuroscientist, a long time ago on, I think, a movie. It was called What the Bleep Do We Know? And that was the first time I saw this lady. She's was an American neuroscientist called Candace Pert. But I'll just, read what she actually is, so that, I'm not talking out my ass, basically. So Candace Pert was an American neuroscientist and pharmacologist who discovered the opiate receptor, the cellular binding site for endorphins in the brain. So she was a big deal. She was pretty well known. And one of the things that she quotes, is quoted as saying, is that unless we can measure something, science won't concede it exists, which is why science refuses to deal with such nothings as the emotions, the mind, the soul, or the spirit. So reductionist science is still refusing to acknowledge those aspects of us because it cannot, measure it. And I think that regardless of whether we can measure it or not scientifically, more and more people are realizing that they are more than their physical bodies and their minds, their thoughts, that thinking mind. And so from my experience of not only participating in plant medicine, but facilitating a lot of plant medicine ceremonies where I've watched people go through the ceremony, practicing clinical hypnotherapy, so guiding people into that, deep theta meditative trance state, or doing or practicing breath work, so guiding somebody through breath work or doing it myself. All of those things have really helped me, as well as meditation, massively in knowing that I am so much more than my mind and my body, and that we can heal on many levels. So not just the physical, but the emotional, the mental, and the soul. The soul can have a lot of trauma too. So trauma can fragment that energy and cause distress. And I'm just really excited that we are acknowledging that. But in order to help people, it is really important to be able to surrender. So as anyone who's done plant medicine knows, it's vital to be able to surrender. And when you're surrendering, you're essentially surrendering your mind. And the mind is where all your fear is. And your subconscious mind creates and contains a lot of fear. So it's the same with hypnotherapy. For example, if you're doing a past life regression, you don't lose your mind. That mind is still observing that aspect of yourself going through the past life regression. And if it's criticizing and judging and questioning everything it sees before the session is even finished, then it's really not going to be of use, because you're going to question and doubt, which is what the mind does. But then it also blocks the power of your ability to heal and transform and expand and be a better version, a happier, more peaceful version of yourself. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because there are lots of modalities out there now that are really, really good at helping us heal. And that's not to say that talk therapy is not great. It's good, and I've even had a conversation with you guys where I found another piece of the puzzle for my own healing was a form of talk therapy called Bowen Family Systems, or Family Relationships Therapy, which was very, very useful for me. So I'm not discounting it. I'm just saying that I think that sometimes what we need is a mixture, and sometimes what we need is the willingness to surrender into something that we don't necessarily understand intellectually with the mind. I mean, I still don't know how electricity works, but I'm very, very grateful that it does work and that I can utilize it. So if this is something that resonates with you, if you're interested in healing or interested in a discussion about how a soul coach works, or it's something that a friend would benefit from, I'd be so grateful if you'd spread the word. I mean, I think that there is a toolkit that I have inherited, I guess, but also a toolkit that I have grown through doing all of these different modalities, training in them, working with people within them for a long time. And so I am excited to be of service again in the space where I'm going to be working as a soul coach. By that, I'm going to connect with you intuitively when we speak, and then through that unraveling of whatever your story is, then I will intuitively collaborate with you to utilize the correct tools in my toolkit that are going to be of service and help. And I feel that there is so much that people are going through right now. So there are people who are going through, maybe their second or third dark night of the soul. You know what that is if you've gone through it or you're going through it. People who have had near-death experiences, who need to integrate them, who have no one to talk to about them, who don't understand the full impact of that. For me personally, dealing and working with empaths, people who are highly sensitive, is a passion of mine, because I myself am a highly sensitive empath, and I guess it's my greatest strength but also my greatest flaw, in that it makes me really, really great at intuiting and working in a really great way with people and connecting with them and helping them heal. But it also can be a downfall in that I can be very sensitive and it can be challenging to be in certain energies. But I love working with people like you who, could benefit sometimes from some help in that area. And I know that there are other aspects out there who are looking for help too. So you may have gone through a trauma, or you may have had plant medicine and you're still not making sense of your ceremonies and what is next to do for you. And I understand that, because I've had ceremonies where it's taken a long time for me to integrate them because they were so out of the ordinary and so challenging. But I've done that, and it's something that I think is better done with, a person who has gone through it and who can guide you there, and rather than do it alone and keep you on that path of continuing that process, because it is important to be diligent and it is important to have practices that support you and people that support you and that understand and that get that process. So that's why I'm excited to share today, because I think this soul coaching, this soul counselling is an absolute passion for me, and I'm really excited to connect with people who I know can benefit from that kind of therapy and that kind of work. So bringing all the modalities, not just the three that I've mentioned, the plant medicine, the hypnotherapy, the breath work. I have a lot of other modalities that I have done work in, and that if I feel are necessary, I can utilize in assisting people. So don't be shy. Reach out, ask questions, and if you feel called, my dear friends, please spread the word and we can have a chat and see if I'm right for you to do some work with. Thank you so much for listening. Love you guys. Thank you for your support. You're all so great and special people to me. Thank you.